In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to level the foot pedal of your Minn Kota Ultrex so that when your motor is parallel to the keel of the boat, you can center the steering and make sure that you have maximum travel when steering left and right from the foot pedal. To begin the process, we're going to go ahead and loosen the tension screw at the base of the foot pedal using a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. We'll back that screw out about 10 to 12 times or until that tension screw feels loose. So the next thing we need to do is remove the steering motor connector door. So we'll go ahead and take our small flat blade screwdriver and remove that door so that we can access the steering motor connector and disconnect that. So next we're going to go ahead and remove the 2 Phillips screws that are holding the wrap drum cover in place. Using our number 2 Phillips screwdriver, we can loosen those 2 screws. And then we need to feed those connector wires down through the opening of the wrap drum cover so that the wrap drum cover comes free. So all the steps you've taken up to this point are the same steps you would take if we were moving our cable assembly to the other side of the mount. The thing that you would do next from there would be to remove these 2 Phillips screws from the top of the cable bracket and move it to the other side and refasten them down to the 2 mounting holes in the steering housing. You got to make sure you use a really good number 2 screwdriver because those screws are very tight. But for the purposes of what we're doing here, we're going to level our foot pedal. So now, in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is make sure that our trolling motor is set parallel to the keel of the boat. You can eyeball that and just move the motor manually so that it's parallel to the keel as close as possible. Now we're going to take this wrap drum and we're going to lift it straight up off of the spline, and I'm going to just rotate that wrap drum in my hands manually as I'm watching the foot pedal until it's level. Now I see I've got the foot pedal level. Now I can drop my wrap drum right back down on that spline. Now that we've got our foot pedal level, we're ready to put everything back together. So we'll start by taking our wrap drum cover, and we've got to feed those connectors back through the windows. And I'm just going to rotate my motor out of the way here. That'll make this process a little easier. Rotate or feed those connectors up through the windows in the wrap drum cover. I can drop that into place. I'll take my number 2 screwdriver and tighten those 2 Phillips screws down. Now I'm going to make this connection again, and remember it's super important to make sure that we go white to white and black to black. So I got to pay close attention to how that connector is oriented. And then I'll push that connector together and I flip it over on itself so that it tucks down into that opening. Now I can take the connector cover and put that back in place. Now all we have to do is tighten the cable back up on the foot pedal again. So now that I have that tension screw tight, I can tell that the wobble is gone from my foot pedal, so I know I've got the proper tension.